Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. One vote and one vote only for Harvey Bergman. Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Kathleen McAndrew. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Only 2 votes on this ballot, and that goes to Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. And on this ballot, only 2 votes. And they go to Harvey Bergman and Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Susan Farrow. Three votes on this ballot: Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, and Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. One vote and one vote only on this ballot, and that vote goes to Paulette Carini. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, and Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Three votes only on the next ballot, one write-in. Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. The write-in goes to Kathy Dory. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Three votes on this ballot only. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, and Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, and Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Farrow, Susan Farrow, and Deborah Forte. 3 votes only on this ballot. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. 1 vote and 1 vote only on this ballot, and that's for Benji Blakeman. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. 3 votes on this ballot and 1 write-in. And the votes go to Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. And the last write-in is for Kathy Dory. Harvey Bergman, Sue Farrell, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. One vote and one vote only on this ballot, and that's for Harvey Bergman. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, and Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte, and Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. One vote and one vote only on this ballot, and that's for Harvey Bergman. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, and Kathleen McAndrews. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell. 3 votes and 1 write-in. Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. And the 1 write-in goes to Richard Bucheri. Thank you. Denise, do you need a break? No, I'm fine. Do you want somebody else to do it? We're almost done. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrews.
That's 3.
No, did you get Deborah Forte, Paulette Carini, and Harvey? Sorry, now slow down. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. 3 votes, 1 write-in. Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, and the write-in is for Kathy Dory. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Susan Farrell. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, and Sue Farrell. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Sue Farrell, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Sue Farrell, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, and Deborah Forte. 3 votes and 3 votes only on this ballot. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. This ballot has 3 votes and 1 write-in. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, and Kathleen McAndrew. And the write-in, they're being funny, is Frank Sinatra.
He doesn't live here.
And I want to tell you, that's so I am being tested to see if I read the vote. Yeah, really? Okay, Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. We're almost done. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew, Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Three votes and three votes only. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Benji Blakeman. This ballot has three votes only. Pauline Carini and Susan Farrow. Harvey Bergman, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, and Kathleen McAndrew. Two votes only and one write-in for a total of three votes only. Paulette Carini, and Kathleen McAndrew. And the write-in goes to Kathleen Dory. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrews. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrow, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrow, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell. Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte. This ballot has 2 votes and 2 votes only, and they go to Harvey Bergman and Deborah Forte. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Susan Farrell, Kathleen McAndrew. Paulette Carini, Susan Farrell, Deborah Forte, Kathleen McAndrew. One vote and 1 vote only on this ballot, and it goes to Kathleen McAndrew. Harvey Bergman, Benji Blakeman, Paulette Carini, Deborah Forte. And the last vote. That's the last vote, right, girls?
Yeah.
Nothing more. Okay, the last vote has only 2 votes on the sheet, and it goes to Susan Farrell and to Kathleen McAndrew. That's it. Now, we have to wait for Laura Perlin and for Sandy Giampola to give me their votes. Yeah, you have to add yours right now. I'm sorry. I'm just writing a note of the 3 that are invalid for today. And that was pretty good that we only had 3 invalid. My congratulations to everybody. That has to go back in there. Yeah, we have to make sure you confer with,
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere, just standing up.
you done? Okay, bring it up. What's your feet? No, what you do, just,
As I finish the long day, it's
oh, well, that makes a big difference. Yeah, I need the, yeah.
You need the other sheet to those people.
No, just give me, well, yes, I need everything.
I can't.
That makes it easier that way. No, I'm just saying what your total is. That's about 36 votes. That's what you're saying. Excuse me. So what you did is I just want to know the votes that they got in favor. Where's the? So did you?
I know you didn't tell me.
Yeah, so you do it right. I know, because I got to give you 12 times more votes. Do you understand? Okay, let me just do this again. So that's really very easy for you to do.
Yeah.
That's the one. Right, so 15.
Six cabinets.
No, I'm just hearing numbers on here, and you give numbers now, and I'm shutting it down. I need to know what bill. All right, here you go. I didn't add any of these. I didn't add in that. I don't want you to add in any of these because I'm going to do it. Okay. Step into her. So who do you have for Harvey? Harvey, 370. What, 370? Yes. 259 for Benji.
I didn't say no.
Don't say a word.
For what?
I want me to redo this again.
No, no.
That's right, this is like
370. This is 171. This is This car is this. This Okay, wait a minute. This is it's this one. So Sandy, why don't you wait here like this? You're very close.
right. Denise and I are going one way.
Were you close? All right. Denise, you want to come here? I know you come here. No, okay. I know you often, a lot more. Okay. Right there.
It's here, Denise here.
All right. Okay, so we're not going to part of it. Sorry. So Benji paid for 359. I'm 259, sorry. Okay, and then we're going to add them all together, so we have a total. That's how it's all reported. Okay, Paulette, she had 327. Susan Garrett. 312. Deborah Forte had 102. Okay, and Kathleen has 292. 292. Hold on. Stay right there, Denise. What did you get? You got 379. Okay, Laura, you want to just count over your Harvey votes? Yeah. Okay, so, we can't do Harvey because we have to
Alice, you have a discrepancy here and there too. I was watching, she was really struggling every day.
So we don't have a discrepancy, please, we do not have a discrepancy of what we have. 259 plus 66. 325 is the total. Total vote. Yeah, 325. That's the total. Okay, now Paulette. 327 plus 94. 421. To get that. She is 312. $416.
I don't need it, I'm fine.
Deborah Forte is 412
7, 14.
plus 99.
30, 30.
511.
I got the same as before. 370.
292 plus 86 is 378. Now we have one more yet to go with.
Say it again. I can't go with the 370.
For Harvey, 371.
This is useless, so trying to.
468.
I said, let's do my prayers. I said, yeah, very good.
Jeff, you come along.
She calls back 10 seconds later. And she was calling. I say, I'm busy. We're friends now, aren't we? And none of us are busy.
Sue Farrow.
And it's close like 4 like
All right.
So we've got
and I voted for you.
Thank you for your patience, everybody. Okay? Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
We have Deborah Forte with 511 votes. That's the e-votes plus the paper votes. Congratulations, Deborah. We have Harvey. We have Harvey with a total of 468 votes. Congratulations, Harvey. Then we have Paulette Carini. She has a total of 421 votes. And then you have Sue Farrow with 416 votes. Those are the 4 new trustees. I would love to thank Benji and Kathleen. I don't know if Kathleen's here, but thank you for being candidates. Thank you very much. And congratulations to all the new board members. Yes?
How many total votes were cast?
Well, I have to add that up yet. I have to do that paperwork, so if you want to hang around, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay, because I have to add in all the, the extra votes.
So we have to do, I need this, extra ones here. I need this, and this.
I didn't add them in, though. I didn't add them together here.
Well, you can do that. You can do it. That's easy. Just put them on.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Harvey.
You can.